Hello, friends. All right, I'm going to try to be quick with this one. Um, this is about depression. How can you be quick? It's so big. Oh, Lord, help me to share. Let's see. Let me just think of one instance and try to stick to that and explain if this might help you. Because I've been through many dark, deep, hopeless feeling depressions in the bed. Couldn't go to work. Things like that. When I first started walking with the Lord, um, I had many bouts of depression. Been on medication for it and this kind of stuff. But when I started coming to know the Lord, um, this was I don't know. I just had to learn that even through those dark, deep, terrible times, I had to learn that the Lord was there with me. So this would just be for anybody that, I don't know, maybe you're feeling depressed. Maybe you're in one of them deep, dark times. All right, so, you just feel it. Sometimes it's so thick, the darkness, the depression, that you can feel it. Now, this might not be for everybody. I don't know. But if it's for you, I pray the Lord it'll help. So you've got this. And, for me, didn't nobody really know about it. I didn't have any friends way back at that time that I could share this with. Maybe one. And she walked with the Lord. And she was always I'd call her my lighthouse. She was always a beacon of light to me. So yeah, she really did help me. But, alright, but there was times, let me tell you about this time that I was in one. Days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months on this one, y'all. Dark place. I couldn't figure it out. First thing I'd always do is, Lord, what have I done wrong? I had to learn that He wasn't punishing me when I was in those places. I learned that. I don't know where you're at with this, but that's what I learned. All right, so I'd go to Him. What have I done? I'd admit. I'd think about, Lord, search my heart. What is it? Have I done anything against you? We'd talk about that kind of stuff. All right, say I did that. I still depressed though. I still down. I didn't have no joy. I had no smiles for my face. Anything like that. And then trying to do life, kids, work. Nothing stops just because you're in those times. All right, so I just, okay, one thing I did, it was still there. As far as I know, I admitted anything I'd done wrong. I was crying out to the Lord. Just crying out to the Lord. I might try to find some encouraging videos on the internet or something because I wasn't going to church at the time. I might try to reach out to that friend I was telling you about. I pour through my scriptures now. I'd search. Trying to find some hope, trying to find some help, trying to find some reminders that the Lord is with me. Because I sure didn't feel like it. Didn't feel like it at all. Okay? Sometimes, no, not really. I mean, so there was many times I could not figure out what was causing this. Why? Why, Lord? Why? Why is this happening to me? So through those many times of this happening, I found there's sometimes my good friend that always could encourage me, there was times came that she couldn't encourage me out of it. She couldn't scripture me out of it. Knowing that her and others were praying for me didn't move me, didn't budge me. I think about the instance I had of the longest bout of being so depressed and down and not knowing why. That one lasted about 2.5 months probably. And David in the Psalms. Now, I really just gravitated towards that. Job, I went there. Just trying to find somebody that could understand where I was at. You know, I needed somebody to look at that had been there. Okay? That's where I went. Wasn't hearing from the Lord. Wasn't hearing from him. You know? Just couldn't hear his voice. Couldn't get anything from the scriptures like I normally would. Just nothing was helping. So, I just did the only thing I needed to do. I kept crying out to the Lord. Please help me, Lord. You know, maybe somebody knows what I'm talking about. And I remember that longest time there that I went through that. I remember laying there in the bed, getting ready to take a nap, because I wanted to sleep a whole lot. The sun's going down. It's getting dark in here. I remember when all of a sudden I realized he was with me. Whew. Man, I was so glad he's with me. I didn't care what he had to say, why he's there, if he wanted to correct me. I didn't care as long as I got to know the Lord was there with me. So, you know, because I was big and I said, Lord, I'm off track. How I felt, y'all, was that I was wandering through the forest. And this is just an example of kind of how I could explain it. And I got lost. I got off track. And nobody could find me. Nobody could find me. It was dark, just dark. I was lost. I didn't even know that the Lord could find me there. Wherever I was at, I couldn't understand it. But the Lord found me. He did. And I come to find out he never took his eye off of me. I just couldn't find him in it. You know, I couldn't find him in that darkness. But I realized the Lord was with me there just for a few moments. Then I drifted on to sleep. And when I woke up, things might not have been so much different. But I'd realized, all right, I realized the Lord's with me. He does hear me. And slowly but surely, I kind of was climbing out of that hole, you know. I don't know how it happened. It just did. But one thing I know I never stopped doing was crying out to the Lord. I might have got angry at him to the point. Why? Why, Lord, are you doing this? Why are you leaving me here? Have I not sought you? Have I not looked for you? What is going on? Why are you abandoning me like this? You know? So anyway, climbing out of it. Here's the main thing I want to say that hopefully somebody can relate to. Maybe somebody can have some hope over it. Is that now looking back through all those times of going down deep in them dark places, wrestling with them thoughts, wrestling with who I am, wrestling with just all this stuff. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Then slowly coming back up out of it, okay? I'd go a while, I'd get a breather, life, I'd go back down. How many times I can't tell you that this has happened. But finally, I started getting a grip on something. And what it was each time I was going down in the deep dark place, the depression, whatever you might want to call it, when I came back up out of it, give it a little time, a little couple months go by, look back on it, I'd read my journal about it. Guess what I learned? I learned that I got to know the Lord better. It's true. I come out of that place knowing him in a different way. I might not could have pinpointed it or explained it to you at that time. But that's what happened. Also what I learned is that I came out, my faith was getting a little more stronger in the Lord, in his power, in his might, in his kindness. My faith was growing. There was always, I found some lesson to learn down in there. You can look up some scriptures about this. This happens. Look at David. It happened to him. Oh my, it happened to so many of them. You know, I'm sure it's happened to you. You know somebody it's happened to. just whatever it might be. Trying to get some light. But anyway, it's 10 minutes. Y'all, sometimes you can't put into words how bad this can be, what you might go through with this. I'm just hoping that I might just be another person that you've heard from that says, yeah, this happens. It is. It does. And let me be another person in your mind that has said, it was worth it. I can say that. It was worth it. Every time I went down, I looked back, I could see I came up a little stronger. Not Misty, come up stronger. Part of Misty died down deep in there. Part of Misty died. Part of what she wanted and what she thought was important in all this. What I mean by Misty come up a little stronger is I came up and he was a little stronger in me. See what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope so. He was a little, think about that. I must decrease so that he might increase. Find, there's times I isolated myself and I shouldn't have. I should have reached out. I should have took that help from somebody. If you heard that, that was my little baby Zoe. She's sitting out here with me, chasing flies. But anyway, there was times, y'all, that it didn't matter if there was a house full of people surrounding me. I was still alone, okay? But one thing I can say, and I will say it, and I'm going to cut this off. The Lord was with me. He taught me how faithful He is. He taught me how faithful He is. Through the good times, through the bad times, through the fear, through everything. I've learned that He was faithful, okay? And y'all, that to me, that's worth it. That's worth it. Next time one of them times might come, yeah, it might hurt. I might hate it. I don't want to go there. I don't want this to happen to me. But one thing I can know now, the Lord's with me. Never leave my side. I'll go down in deep places that I can't explain. Ain't nobody can understand. Those closest to me, my husband, whatever. They couldn't help me. They wanted to. They was praying for me and stuff. So if anybody can relate to that, I just want to say, if you're in one of those times, keep calling out to Him. He hears you. He hears those prayers. He sees those tears. And He's doing something. You just can't see it right now. But He is. He's doing something. And man, when everything goes black, it's dark as midnight, and you catch that little glimpse of light, that is the Lord Jesus Christ. Man, how much more you appreciate Him. How much more you want to come out of that time and get to know Him even more. Because He's good. He's worth finding out. That's what I wanted to share. I hope that helps somebody today. I hope it does. I'll talk to y'all later.